Paris is the best city in the world. My name is Faith Bonds. I'm a junior at USC studying public relations and French.
Hello, I'm Sarah Gise. I'm a senior and I'm studying both French and urban planning. I studied abroad at USC Paris and I chose that program because based on my requirements and my major, that was the best option for me.
I essentially decided to do USC Paris because I'm a French major. People really adored the program there at the Accent Center. When I was in Paris, I took 4 classes. One of my classes was my 19th century French art class, and that class was so cool because we get to go once a week to a different museum in Paris to study Impressionism and study 19th century art. So that's just so cool because our professor is extremely knowledgeable. He loves art and you can just tell, and he knows all the backstories and all the rivalries between the artists, and it's just such an interesting dynamic. We had a lot of opportunities to get out and learn different things. We did a lot of excursions, we did a lot of museum visits. We did so many cool things in our classes that we wouldn't have been able to navigate on our own, I think.
My experience at USC Paris was I took 2 classes at the Accent Center, so the 2 USC courses. Then I took 2 courses at a French university, and then I had an internship. So USC, they paired up with this scouting company that works with study abroad students in France and matches them up with internships based on their interest. So I ended up at a French charitable organization, and they work with a lot of low-income families, immigrants, asylum seekers, just to give food if they need it, or access to food and access to resources that are offered by the government. But I was mainly just an extra set of hands. What helped me manage my time was we had access to the American Library in Paris. So that was a really great study space for me, and I could just, zone in and get to work, and that was really nice.
USC Paris has a great program for setting students up with their homestay because they really take into account your preferences. The USC Paris program really puts an emphasis on matching you with the right homestay. Anybody who is kind of struggling with the thought of living with a homestay, I would just say these families sign up to host students because they love students.
The great thing about the USC Paris program is that they kind of do everything for you. So I just had to show up, and they had, a placement for me. I was really lucky that I was located 20 minutes from the Accent Center by walking, and I was living with Marie-Claire, very French name. She was in her late 60s, and she had 4 grandchildren, and all her children were out of the house. So it was just us 2 in this 4-bedroom apartment. I didn't feel stressed, and I felt like I could kind of relax and have my own space. We would always have dinner together, so she would cook me meals and we would talk and chat about the day. We would have the TV on, and so we would watch this French game show kind of thing, which was really fun, and I got to learn some French songs. So it was a really pleasant experience. She was super nice, she was super warm. She actually also did my laundry, which I was not expecting, but I was really thankful for. So yeah, it was a great experience.
Some of my favorite activities to do in France were to find new bakeries. We actually had a little challenge among our group. We were trying to find the best croissant in Paris. So we would compare notes on croissant. We did a lot of activities as a little group. And then with the program, we went to the south of France. So we went to 5 different cities. We went to Aix-en-Provence, Avignon, all these really interesting old towns. We did lots of tours, but that was just an amazing little getaway for us. Other activities, I love going to museums every single week.
I guess the moment that I knew that I was in Paris, and it was whoa, there's this park called Chaumont, and it's just this beautiful park. There's all these rolling hills, and I was there with a friend, and I remember just sitting there and being okay, I'm here. So I guess that was my spot in Paris. So one of my favorite moments in Paris was to feel like an adult, number one, going out with friends and, taking the metro and have that at the start of my experience was just really relieving. They kind of helped ground me in France because when you're out there, you feel isolated. You know that you have so much more to offer to French people than you can show or express. And so to have that kind of group where you can kind of let go was really helpful. So I'm glad that I found them at the beginning. That was one of my favorite experiences.
I would say my favorite memory from the entire time I was in Paris was traveling to Brussels. We spent the entire weekend like trying waffles and fries. So that was just a great experience. Paris is the best city in the world to study in for so many reasons. One, if you're a student, you get in everywhere free. You can go to Versailles, you can go to the top of l'Arc de Triomphe, you can go anywhere in Paris, all of these sites that you've only seen on Instagram or in books. The food is incredible. The people are really nice. If you just speak to them and you try to speak French at least, they will help you. There's an eclectic melting of cultures there that's just so interesting and unique. That's really unlike any other city in the world.
For those who want to study abroad, just do it. Paris is just a beautiful city. The food is amazing. Go and have fun. Like, it's so important to put yourself out there, put yourself in like a new cultural context. It made me like addicted to like that sort of discovery. Be curious. Now I feel like I can do anything. That wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't had studied abroad.